Hi everyone, Mike Seatown here to review the new-ish Denzel Curry album, Taboo. So, Denzel Curry is an artist I've been casually following for a little while now. He's generally impressed me with his very good technical ability when it comes to lyricism and flow, which has always set him apart from his peers, as well as, I guess, the hype factor, which he generally brings to a lot of his music. In fact, this was definitely the case with his most well-known song, Ultimate, which came out in 2015 and was generally meme to shit. There was Vine compilations, and it blew up pretty much. If you were to play this song to almost anyone who's been on the internet, I suppose, in the past 5 years, like they'd recognize it immediately. And maybe it's not been down to him and it's not been his fault, but I feel like in the past maybe he's almost toed the line in his career as being typecast as just making this one specific type of song. I think that the talent which Denzel has, you won't want to see it go in this direction. And it's not like this is all he's been trying to do on previous projects. It's just that I'd say this is maybe where he's found the most success and where he's become the most revered, I suppose. And this is where I think this new album from Denzel really sets him apart from that typecasting, because he goes in so many different directions on this new album, Taboo, and every single direction he goes in, he completely knocks out the park. He shows so much range emotionally, as well as just the way he presents himself and the type of music he's putting across. Denzel is ruthless at times, vulnerable and reflective at others, and yet there isn't really a single moment on this album or in the track listing that feels out of place or at all misguided. Everything he does on here, he performs and executes excellently. It's really, really impressive. I personally, I wouldn't have boxed him into like just doing one type of song, because the technical ability he has, he's better than that. He can definitely do whatever he wants, I suppose. But even so, the range he shows on this album is not something I was expecting. Songs like Taboo, the opener of the album, and also the title track, is such a desperately sad song. And you really get the feeling in his voice and just the way he says everything in the song, that he really, really feels what he's saying. We hear Denzel address this girl through the song who we don't know the identity of, but we can tell just the way he's talking about, so that he's maybe grown up with her, maybe like as a childhood friend or something like that to a certain extent. And we hear really just how kind of damaged this person is and everything they've gone through, and we can tell, like the way Denzel's speaking, that he wants to help this person, but maybe not for solely altruistic reasons, but that he does genuinely want to help them, but maybe you get the feeling that he doesn't have the tools to do so, and that this person is maybe just so beyond repair that it's really is a heart-wrenching moment. I mean, and this is the first song on the album. It's a total curveball, really, like for me, at least. I wasn't really expecting Denzel to go in this direction, much less to execute it as well as he did, and yet here we are. Denzel speaks about this person and what she's going through in a way that I think makes it very relatable to the listener, because everyone to a certain extent has had a situation where they've known someone who they care about, who's maybe been going through something that they want to help them with, but they maybe don't have the tools to do so, and they're not able to. And it's this relatability which makes the song all the more sadder. As well as this, on the song, he uses this really grand and delicate instrumental, which is very spacious and fitting in allowing the emotion of the song to really come through in the music. Moving on through the track listing, Black Balloons is a wonderfully atmospheric track with an amazing hook which the song centers around. Denzel is smooth as hell on this track, and Goldlink, an artist who I haven't really been too interested in, but I've been aware of, comes through with a really amazing feature that just suits the song. Sumo just slaps. It's so unapologetic and just hype as fuck. The energy which Denzel comes through on this song with is insane. It's so high energy. It's so just. It's a level above, and it's a really just excellent moment in the track listing. I really love it. Denzel switches up his flow several times on the track, and his gruff, aggressive tone is just so infectious. And like the beat is quite simplistic compared to what is on the album, but I think that this is very much to the benefit of the track. It allows Denzel to just really draw attention to himself and what he's bringing to the track, and it's an excellent moment on the album. Following this track, we've got Super Saiyan and Mad I Got It, both of which see Denzel get a bit braggadocious, with the second one kind of addressing people who are envious of his come up. And while these maybe aren't new topics, I think that it's done very well and it comes from a genuine place. So Sirens featuring J.I.D, easily one of the most promising up and coming rappers out right now, is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. Both Denzel and J.I.D come through with these really amazing verses about the state of America and its justice system. And I love how the track's sound ranges from the really somber tone of J.I.D and Billie Eilish's amazing hook to, I suppose, the angst-filled lyrics of Denzel, particularly at the tail end of the track, which sees it come to this very, not aggressive, but I suppose angry conclusion. Moving on, Clout Cobain, amazing title, but more importantly, it's a really catchy single, which I think fits very well into the track listing, and it's maybe not a highlight of the album for me personally, but I can definitely appreciate the song, especially more so now, in the context of the track list than when it first came out. So now moving on to the final three tracks on the album, all of which I think they do an excellent job of really closing this album out. They all come with this very aggressive hype factor, which I suppose Denzel is so well known for. But what it does is it makes for a very satisfying end to the album. And just speaking personally, when I finish listening to this album, my first instinct is to go and listen to it again, partially due to, I suppose, just the energy that these tracks come with. The first of these songs is Perks. Denzel is fucking ferocious on this song. It's insane. He comes with a very sarcastic tone and is just throwing so much fucking shade. And the hook on this song, it's so aggressive. It really amps up the energy of the track and it fits it so well. Vengeance is another amazing track on here. I really struggle with telling which song I prefer more, Vengeance or Perks. There's JPEG Mafia and Zillakami on this track, and I suppose this was the song I was most excited for when seeing the track listing, because I'm a big fan of JPEG Mafia, and I think you can tell the styles that him and Denzel both have, they would really gel well together and just come together excellently, and that's definitely the case here. But even like on top of that, I hadn't heard of Zillakami before this, and he also, like, he's really surprising. He comes through with an amazing verse, and it's just such an excellent track. The way that the three of them just go back and forth, just bringing so much fucking hype to the track. It's insane. They all bring their A game on the track. I really love the Drake call out from Peggy on here. But basically, the song, it fades out into this really pleasant intro, which is I suppose stands out a bit, but not in a bad way, which transitions into the final song on the album, Black Metal Terrorist. Admittedly, maybe not the best as a standalone track, just merely due to the way it's structured. But in the context of the album, as a closer, it finishes the album just really excellently. It's such a satisfying ending to the album. Denzel, as the song progresses, gets more and more aggressive in his delivery and tone, until the song kind of fades into this abrasive, almost industrial instrumental breakdown. It's a really, really satisfying end to the album. And again, I mean, just personally, when I finish listening to this, my first instinct is to go and listen to the album again. It's just that good. Um, Everything Denzel does on here, he does it excellently. He executes it so well. I really don't have anything to complain about here. I would say that if you're going to be labeling this a concept album, I would say that maybe the concept takes a back seat. I feel like Denzel comes at this album from so many different angles that maybe I personally might struggle to label it as such. But I can't really throw any doubt onto what he's done on here because the only consistency on this album is Denzel himself. I feel like every single thing he does on here, again, he does it excellently. He executes it so well. Denzel's always been capable of using his talents in such a way and coming out with a really, really solid project. But I think that just on this album, he's really stepped it up another level. And I still feel like he has more to come as well. Like on this album, Denzel, he's fulfilling his potential. He's doing what he should be doing at this stage in his career and more. He's really delivered something here, which I feel is only really going to grow on me more and more as time progresses. It's definitely going to be making my album of the year list. And overall in this album, I'm gonna have to say I'm feeling like a 9, maybe like a low 9, but I'm feeling a 9 on it for sure. It's such a great album. Um, as far as my favorite tracks on here, I'm gonna have to go with the title track Taboo, as well as Sumo, Sirens, Perks, and Vengeance. That's about all I really have to say about this album. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with what Denzel's done on here. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. If you'd like to, I don't know, like the video, subscribe, or whatever the fuck. If you think I'm an idiot, please do let me know. I'm open to criticism. I did take a little while getting this review out, I know. I had some difficulties with getting it out, but we're here now. Dead End Hip Hop actually already have their review out at the time of recording, so that's a sure way of knowing that I've taken a little while getting this out. But I mean, I'm glad I reviewed it. It's an excellent album. It's not something I wanted to let pass me by. I think that's about all I have to say, really. That's it.